For the record, I am Rita Science, Director of the Department of the Employment Development Department.
We begin with breaking news.
And that breaking news coming out of the California's embattled Employment Development Department, the EDD, where the agency's newest director is stepping down.
I came to be with the department in January, and I really appreciate the frustrations that people have had.
Brian, this was a surprise. That department needs stability.
Yeah, it really does, Edie. So EDD Director Rita Sines was hired just a little more than a year ago. She was hired to clean up the agency, and tonight she's out.
This just simply says to me that it's chaotic, that just changing the person at the top doesn't necessarily change all of the inner workings, the guts of the bureaucracy.
The governor has already announced her replacement, Nancy Farias, who is currently a chief deputy director within EDD.
I have great respect for Nancy Farias, who's now the deputy or the director. I think she's in it for the right reasons, and she really wants to dig in and continue fixing the system.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to start Budget Subcommittee 4 in room 444. Our first item will provide an update on EDD as well as an overview of the various budget change proposals to improve operations and address fraud at the department.
We talked to the district attorney. She's a little more hopeful.
She's optimistic. Her glass is half full.
Our panelists for this item include our new director of EDD, Ms. Nancy Farias.
She said she's had interactions with the new director that she feels like at least they're listening. Is that something that you guys are finding in the legislature?
Yeah, I mean, she's a good person, but look what happened over the years. Is it her fault? She's brand new. No, it's not her fault, but you have that legacy of prior directors and folks that were there and that are still there that didn't do their job. So, yeah, to be hopeful, things are going to change, but it still takes time. And it has to come from the top down.
The fraud prevention contracts in the governor's budget assist us in paying claimants timely while continuing to prevent scammers from infiltrating our systems on the front end.
You need some changes throughout EDD, not just at the top level. Because at the end of the day, those folks in the trenches get it done. And you've got to make sure they're doing their job and being held accountable. And the wait times were ridiculous. And the people being hung up on, that makes no sense. That's just basic customer service.
My hope is that they will have learned their lesson and they will heed what the auditor has made so clear over and over again. I hope that they learned the lesson that their bureaucracy is there to serve people and not to protect themselves.
We issued that report, those two reports, in January of 2021, and we do follow up with EDD. They have to report to us. They've made some progress, not as much progress as we would hope they would have made.
Many of the reforms and budget requests that are before you today come from the well thought out recommendations of the California State Auditor as well as the EDD strike team. We have met every deadline set by the auditor, and 17 of the 21 recommendations are complete, about 81%. The remaining recommendations are well underway.
So for example, the fraud unit, they did identify and trying to centralize some of those fraud mitigation efforts. So they've created that unit, but they haven't fully staffed it yet.
If I could ask real quickly, what's the status of EDD's fraud unit that was to be fully staffed as of November 2021? Do we have any update on that?
I believe it's fully staffed, actually. Maybe one of my colleagues can.
That's correct. Hi, Amy Faulkner, Employment Development Department, Acting Chief Deputy over our operations. The fraud unit that was recommended by the California State Auditor and our unemployment insurance program is now currently fully staffed and operational.
And could I ask, what does fully staffed mean? How many do we have?
I can actually answer that, Amy. Thank you. Hi, Grecia Staton, EDD, Deputy Director of the Unemployment Insurance Branch. We actually staffed up a complete section within the Unemployment Insurance Program that includes a section manager, two managers, two specific units, and then 4 to 6 staff within those specific units. So the fraud section in and of itself encompasses approximately 12 individuals.
They have like a dozen peace officers to cover the whole state of California, 40 million people. So really the folks that have done the most in this EDD fraud have been local law enforcement. Your deputy sheriffs and police officers have done most of the investigations, most of the search warrants.
They got a tough job. 12 people? Okay. I just wondered, gosh, that opens a Pandora's box for a bunch of questions that this is not the place for me to ask them. But thank you for at least answering that.
Brand new Mercedes-Benz, laptop computers, expensive shoes. Criminals bought all of those items using money they got from fraudulent claims approved by California's Employment Development Department. Our KCRA3 documentary called Easy Money, Fraud, Fortune, and Failures found a state law change several years ago made it harder for prosecutors to take and sell those items in order to get the money back.
A question for Ms. Farias. How many investigations has EDD opened related to fraudulent claims?
EDD currently has almost 850 investigations. This is just EDD.
Prosecutors say Eric Jacklich filed at least 78 fraudulent claims with EDD looking for pandemic assistance.
A woman is facing 166 charges related to a fraud scheme that cost taxpayers about $3 million.
A former wide receiver for the New England Patriots has been ordered to pay back more than $100,000 of CARES Act money that he got from California's EDD. Ken Burrell Tompkins was indicted a year ago for use of unauthorized devices as well as aggravated ID theft.
In addition to those charges related to the downtown shooting, today additional charges were filed against Matula Payton in a separate docket alleging 3 counts of EDD fraud, totaling the amount of approximately $45,000, occurring between July of 2020, while he was incarcerated in state prison, and August of 2020 as well.
And do you know how many have been prosecuted?
There's been over 200 arrests. I don't know how many have been prosecuted. Looks like about 20 or so.
To get things done, it takes, like I said, an act of Congress to change things. So it's a constant battle every day with that. And it shouldn't be that way. 100%. There's no reason for it to be that way. There's no reason to hide it. Go out, be truthful, and tell the public what we're doing and how we plan on fixing this and making sure it never happens again. So when an arrest is made and investigators discover a bank account with potentially fraudulent funds, what happens to those funds?
So that we are working on that currently. There is, we are talking about restitution to EDD, which usually doesn't occur until after the person serves their time in prison. But we do have a working group where we're working with McGregor Scott on figuring out how to collect those funds.
California's asset forfeiture law is very narrow, and it's really directed only at drug dealers at this point in time. But if the cash that's discovered, if the car that's being driven, if that connection can be made, and it can be established in a court of law that they are fruits of the crime, they're evidence of the crime.
So there was one person in particular who was showing all kinds of video and pictures of him having stacks of cash on the dash of his car and then bragging about how he's furnishing his house with a brand new refrigerator and buying his mom a Mercedes.
And we've been coordinating with the DAs to the best of our ability to convey the message that seize that stuff, prove it in a court, and when you get the conviction and there's a sentence, have the judge order it as restitution to go back to EDD as the victim of the crime.
We might get a judge to order $2 million in restitution that was stolen, but the ability to recover that is minuscule, as opposed to if you're able to seize the assets that they used the money for, the cars, the trucks, whatever, the homes, then that money could then be used to pay off that restitution.
Have any funds been recovered to date?
Yes, I believe there has been some collected to date. Ordered by the court. I'm not sure if collected yet. Ordered by the court. Restitution, which again usually occurs, as you know, after a prison sentence. Okay. So we may not see that for a while.
Somebody asked me, how much are we going to recover? Pennies on the dollar is my guess, but the money still has to be paid back, as far as I understand, to the federal government. Somebody's going to bear that cost.
In a Facebook Live segment with Easy Money producer Dave Manicherry, Elk Grove Assemblymember Jim Cooper says in the wake of our documentary, he is going to do something to fix that.
We've had discussions at length about this issue, and also because of your story, I'm introducing a bill on January 3rd that will allow law enforcement to seize these assets from these individuals.
Someone that was involved in asset forfeiture during my time with the Sheriff's Department, it does work. In this case, it was narrowly defined, narrowly crafted to deal with folks during the pandemic and to go after those folks. I mean, some folks got several $100,000s in goods and purchases. Individuals bought cars. So what we want to do is bring that money back to the public and put it back in the state coffers where it belongs. The money is stolen.
And there actually is a bill this year, AB 1637, the Taxpayer Recovery Act, which will allow for some of those funds to be recovered through asset forfeiture.
Why do you not think it's gonna pass?
I've been here 8 years, and any bill that holds people accountable, especially in the criminal justice system, is not going to get out.
Welcome to Public Safety Committee.
Do you think it'll make it out of public safety, or it won't even get out of there?
We have the following items, 6 items that are on consent. Item number 2, AB 1637 Cooper, criminal profiteering, asset forfeiture, unemployment, and disability insurance fraud.
Yeah, it doesn't get out.
Those of us who've been elected to represent the constituents that are supposed to be served by the EDD, we have forced them to try at least to do a better job. And maybe we're coming out of the dark ages of the EDD and maybe into the middle ages of the EDD. I don't know.
Madam Secretary, call the roll.
On the consent calendar, Jones Sawyer.
Aye.
Jones Sawyer, aye. Lackey. Lackey, aye. Bonta.
The fact that we made a nuisance of ourselves on behalf of our constituents brought them to their senses, shot a little fear into them, and maybe it caused them to move. I sure hope so, for the sake of our people.
Bonta, aye. Bryan. Quirk.
Aye.
Quirk, aye.
Figure this out, buy you dinner, steak dinner at Morton's, both you guys.
All right, good.
Sayarto.
Aye.
Sayarto, aye.
This consent calendar is adopted. First up on the agenda is item number 1, AB 2287, Bauer K. Gahan, K.
And we're going to go after the criminals who stole billions of relief money meant for small business and millions of Americans. Tonight, I'm announcing that the Justice Department will soon name a chief prosecutor for pandemic fraud. And look,